sleeping at night like a baby.
Like a baby.
Oh, yeah. Wow, there it is, man. That's a trailer for season 3. I don't know, man. A really epic series that's on FX. Season 3 starts July 10th. If you had a chance to watch the first couple of seasons, this is one that leaves you on the edge of your seat every single episode. It's something that's based on the early 80s crack epidemic that first hit the country, especially in ports like Oakland and Los Angeles and New York, that really changed the way our lives are. It became a fact. Crack became as important to our lives as music. It became a part of our DNA. And I remember when the creator, God bless his soul, came up here with Damson Idris, who plays Franklin Saint, who's with us today. And we asked him about the crack epidemic. I'm talking about the one and only John Singleton, good friend of mine. Rest in power. You know, that man has been so instrumental in our lives, especially in the field of cinema. And this is what he said when we talked about what made him create this series and what was going on at the time.
I look at 3 different moments in Black history that really, really affected us. Slavery.
Yep.
And then Jim Crow, because we were trying to get out of the whole bondage of institutionalized racism and get to slavery from Jim Crow, right? And then crack.
And crack.
I won't even say heroin. I'll say crack because heroin was like, you know, a certain time and everything. They flooded the streets of heroin to stop pro-black movements of the late 60s, right? To slow people down. But crack was the only thing that could make black women leave their children.
Wow, man. Shit. And those words echo, but even in 2019, we're seeing the same things happen. We got the stars. Give them a big round of applause. Applause of Snowfall right here. Eamon Joseph is here. Give him a big round of applause, man.
With the fly suit.
What up, Jerome? Damson Idris has returned as the star. Franklin Saint, he's here.
All the way from London, yes.
All the way from the UK. And they brought the queen up in here, Mike Muse. You were so excited when they said she was coming.
Yes.
The one and only Angela Lewis is here as well. Detroit. Angela, how are you?
I'm good.
Mike Muse was saying how proud he is of you. Mike, why are you so proud of Angela?
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea what's happened to my life right now. Angela and I met freshman year at the University of Michigan.
Yes, go blue.
Go blue, baby. I had the chance to see her in her first play, The Blackness Blues, with another citizen of Sway in the Morning, Dominic Maruso, who was nominated for the Tony for Ain't Too Proud.
That's right.
I have seen these individuals. I've seen Angela grow up right before me. I've seen her amazing career take off in the way that it has. And whoever thought that she and I will be on Sway in the Morning, I'm interviewing her about her major television project that she has. And so it's just a blessing. I'm excited. I'm so proud of you. So proud of the work that you've done. You are a phenomenal actor, and you got next. And you're going to be the next generation that we're going to be talking about for years to come. So salute to you.
I'm cheesing so hard, y'all.
Yes, go blue.
Go blue.
I mean, we partied together.
Yes,
she's also with child
With
right now. My
child,
little baby, my little baby sister, Damsonella.
Yes, yes. Oh, what was your experience like working with John?
Oh, man. John, he's a game changer, you know what I mean? But he didn't make it feel like he was John Singleton. He was just John, you know, and it's just hearing his voice again just sent me all the way back and like just sitting here trying not to cry, like, oh my gosh. But, you know, big brother, but mentor, but just down to earth, just lift you up, you know, making sure I stay in my power, which is really important to me. I'm a pretty laid back person, but, you know, Louis is not a laid back character. So, you know, just he was amazing.
Louis, even developing that character alongside with John, how much of it was his direction and then how much of it was you pulling from some other experiences from other people that was able to make up this character?
I think it was a mixed bag. You know what I mean? Like, I took what was written and I just tried to find, you know, the heart of who she is. Like, how did she get here? Why does she behave this way? And that really allowed me to understand her emotional life, which then allowed me to, okay, now I get who she is, where she's heartbroken. Now, how do I translate that into, like, we got to beat some people down, and you know what I mean. And he was instrumental in making sure I brought my Detroit, you know, and like kept that fire.
Okay, and then Louis is your character's girlfriend, right? Or
yeah, I mean, really, she like the what is it? Your common law.
Common law. Yeah.
Common law wife.
Yeah.
That's
you know how to do. What's
that's Eamon Joseph. He
Common law?
plays Jerome Saint.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need all that paperwork.
So your common law girlfriend.
Common law, yeah. We've been together a long time.
A long time.
Yeah.
You're out of the throuple too.
Yeah,
A throuple. Oh, that's that new stuff. They ain't had that back then.
Your polyamorous relationships,
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, this
Keep
is a
it free.
different table
Keep it
than that.
Right.
DB, when you look at Eamon's history, what points, what some of the things he's done in his legacy, Eamon Joseph, that you could think of?
Expendables, like all types of G.I. Joe. You know what I mean? Like the guy's like an action star. You know what I mean? So it's nice to see people express their acting chops in other ways other than just being a big tough guy and show. Because I actually watched there was a dedication to John that FX put out and all the behind the scenes moments of you guys working with him. And I remember you were speaking about how he used to tease you before you were doing the scene, like, y'all know you from New York, but this is a story about being in LA. So for you guys knowing how personal this was for him, I mean, even Boys in the Hood was such a personal story about his life, and this being a kind of an extension of that. What kind of moments did you guys share with him that helped you get through a scene that might have been tough?
I mean, John was always in Video Village. We all can attest to John he was always ecstatic. He had kind of like this childlike thing when he was on set where sometimes, he'd be down in his phone or whatnot, but he'd come up like, yo, that was great. That was a great scene right there. That was a great scene. He'd give you a little fist bump. He'd take you over to the side, be like, yo, I want you to, I remember there was this scene where me and Angela were breaking up, the character Louis. We were breaking up, and it was a tumultuous scene. We're going back and forth. And John was like, when she's about to leave, just go like this. I said, what is that old shit? What the hell? What is this?
Like hit the door, keep on
what I mean?
walking.
Like, keep on. But it was this subtle kind of gesture that would get under someone's skin when they telling you that I'm gonna leave you for real. Like, this is it. It's over. Yeah. And you got the nerve to do that to somebody in their face. So it's little things like that John, that's just a little example of how detailed he was, how specific he was, and he was always giving those type of jewels while we were on set. I mean, I know Damson can attest to a lot of it.
He would always, he'd love it when I did a little head tilt. He said a head tilt was something that was so specific to LA culture and the kids and out there when they're talking, they kind of, hey, what's up, homie?
No, the most gangster head tilt you had was the one when Kevin pulled the gun on him and Leon put it down. His reaction was like, bop! He hit him with the
yeah. Now they use it in every trailer. I'm
trailer.
like, I'm gonna do something else.
Let me see your dog. Let me see your Damson. Go ahead. That was very well.
Gangster.
Right. I have a little experience with women doing that to me too.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
How does this work now that that John has ascended to a higher place? Moving forward, how does this work with Snowfall? In your opinion, Damson, how do you continue?
I believe we just keep going. We've got a chair with his name on it on set, so we know that he's always there with us, and he left us so many codes that we could run with now. And the great thing about John was, iconic as he was, he always empowered people. And all the people involved, from Dave Andron, our showrunner, to Walter Mosley, to Tommy Schlamme, to the crew, to the actors, we all have John's voice in our heads every time we do something, anytime we move forward. So yeah, this isn't the last season of Snowfall. It's going to keep going on. It's going to keep going on.
I like to give praise to him. I know his family members at the past BET Awards, they didn't get a chance to do some type of tribute to him, but I dare say I think BET and all others will eventually pay proper tribute to him. But I definitely want to speak out about John and his legacy while we have a chance to talk with you guys. Beautiful. And then you also told me that season 3 is more fire than season 1 and season 2. Yeah. Damson, how is that even possible? Like, how so?
Best show on TV. Let's just put it out there.
Okay, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
The best show.
The best show on TV.
Let your nuts hang,
we in New York.
Wait, hold on. My intern, Javon, you agree with that, Snacks?
I can agree to that. I can agree with that.
Let's go.
Okay, that's our intern.
And they've
Let's
only
go.
seen 2 seasons, you know, and
Yeah.
and I mean, we watched the finale of season 3 about 3 days ago, and I could honestly tell you that I promise you, this is the greatest show in the world. Game of Thrones is gone now, so I want that spot.
Then you putting it on you, Angela. You rocking with that too?
I promise.
Snowfall is better than Game of Thrones. Let's get some phone calls. 888-742-3345. Snowfall is better than Game of Thrones. Call us, all right? Sway in the morning. Shade 45. Let your nuts hang, son. Woo! And that's the way it is. Sway in the morning. Shade 45. We got Damson Idris is here. Eamon Joseph is here. Angela Lewis is here. They're here. This is the cast of Snowfall, and I dare say, Snowfall now, we've deemed it better than Game of Thrones. And not just saying that. This isn't just a bunch of fluff because they're here today. They're going to tell you why they feel like that. I have not seen the season 3 finale, but season 3 is back on July 10th on FX, so make sure you watch it. Augustin in Philly, you watched the show? You watched the series, right?
Yes, I do, man. I've been watching since the very first episode.
What are your thoughts? Snowfall versus Game of Thrones.
Snowfall.
Yeah.
Mind you, I watch Game of Thrones,
Okay.
but Snowfall is much more of a real story, and it's our story, our people, and the way our Game of Thrones ended, it was wet.
Okay. So we're talking about finales, all right. So we're gonna base it on finales. Okay, there you go. Augustin, you're a citizen. Derek in Houston, Texas. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm good. How y'all doing?
Beautiful.
Snowfall versus Game of Thrones.
Look here, man. You could put Snowfall versus anything on TV, man. Next to the NBA, Snowfall hands down, bro.
We got everybody but LeBron and AD.
hey, I'm a 80 baby raised. I was born in the 80s, man. I was 1980, man. So a lot of that stuff we finally got down here about 92 and 93. So it unfolded the same way.
It's real, and that's one of the things we even talked to John Singleton, rest in power, before he left. A lot of times you see these series, and I was concerned too back then if this is going to glorify the worst part of the crack epidemic and it sensationalize a lot of it and exploit it. And that's always something that you kind of got to consider when you cover these timepieces. Eamon, how do you think Snowfall stayed away from just glorification of the crack era? It's not going to create new crack dealers based on watching this series.
I think there's a circle of truth around people that watch the show, that actually watch the show. They already know that that's not what this is. It's not a glorification. If anything, it's shining a light on what our country could wage a war against its own citizens to fund another war that's going on, geopolitics. You know what I mean? So first of all, that's disrespectful. Don't disrespect my legend, my ancestor, John Singleton, Walter Mosley, Dave Andron. There's a conscious effort to make sure that we dig up the truth here. And we're doing it, of course, with a fictitious story. But this is real. And to me, I mean, I'm putting that on the audience, for the audience to look at this season, especially season 3, and see the moral integrity that we have with it. I think it's unmatched, period.
Unmatched.
Absolutely.
Unmatched. And, the characters, I mean, I watched every single gangster to get into this role, Denzel's Frank Lucas, Tony Montana, Bryan Cranston's Walter White. And, the ones that stuck out for me were the ones who had a moral compass around them. It wasn't all about flashing guns and women and money. This character, Franklin Saint, he's remarkable because he could be anyone. This is a smart kid who could have been a CEO of a company but got into the crack cocaine epidemic because of the circumstances that were placed in front of him. And this is a character who, although he has to do these dark things and he's losing a piece of his soul as the series unfolds, he is regretful of it and he is remorseful of it. And he sees what the crack cocaine epidemic is doing to his community this season. And that's going to be a beautiful thing to view.
Oh, wow.
From the first episode, from season 3, episode 1, you realize the stakes.
Yeah.
Every person I know that dealt with crack always became conflicted at one point between the success or the so-called success that they achieved and the impact that success was causing on their community.
Always. And I've met them, you know. I believe the universe always brings things to me, and it brings me to things. I remember when I ran into Freeway downtown LA, and I was talking to him about his journey and what he's doing now in the community. I ran into someone else, I can't remember his name.
Freeway, the Freeway Ricky Ross.
Freeway Ricky Ross.
The original.
Okay, yeah. I ran into I was at the Staples Center, and not Frank Lucas, the other guy who was doing heroin in New York. I can't remember his name.
There's a lot of other
guys. The other guy that was doing Mike Muse, OQ,
Nicky Barnes.
You know,
not Nicky.
Wasn't Nicky Bars,
but Pee Wee.
Okay.
Kirkland.
Okay.
There we are. I ran into
the GOAT, the basketball player.
Yeah, he used to play basketball.
Yeah, no, he didn't used to play basketball. He is basketball.
Exactly. I met him at Staples Center. There we are. And he was talking to me like I was selling crack for real. You know, he was like, "Hey man, you know, like don't do it for too long." And I was like, "What? It's a TV show." He thought you were selling it for real. But he was talking to me about what he's doing in the community, and this is what all these characters do. You know, YE Enterprise is someone you don't know. We've interviewed him, you know, and everyone that watches Snowfall, the beautiful thing about it is they're like, "You're playing me." You know, and that's what this character is. He is a depiction of every African American kid who got into this crack cocaine epidemic because of the circumstances they were forced to confront, and they all had it with the same aim. And it wasn't always about money and women; it was about to put on for their family, because of the position they were put in. And this show, above all things, if you want to talk about the Franklin story, that's beautiful, but it's also the CIA, and I really want people to focus on that storyline. Focus on the role that Teddy McDonald plays, and how, like Eamon says, the ulterior motive of funding this Nicaraguan war, how it really impacted us. And we need to look at that, look at our past, to understand why we're in this present, and to see how we could better walk into the future.
There it is, man. That's so diabolical.
Exactly.
Nothing was by accident.
Nothing.
Angela.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to commend you guys for putting together something so impactful. This is one of those things. I was watching an interview that Jay-Z did with David Letterman, and he talked about wanting to make music that stands the test of time. So some of the people that he listened to had songs that were 20, 30, 40 years of age. Wow. I think this is one of those series 10, 20, 30 years from now, people will be able to look at and reflect, kind of like we sit up and watch Good Times or, you know, the Jeffersons, and like it's brand new. I think Snowfall would be one of those. So congratulations on your work, Angela.
That was one of my proudest moments.
Yeah.
I was at the Rock Nation brunch this year, and I was talking to Hove, and he said he binged the show, and I was just like,
"Ooh, Hove binge you, dog? He binged
you gonna binge me? Hold on, binge me? Like, binge you?
That's crazy.
You know, B was right there with him and the kid, you know."
It's a beautiful feeling, man. We're touching all areas of civilization, all areas of the culture. You know, this is the culture, and this show, I commend people who lift it up and talk about it in those circles. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we're part of that crew that's doing that. I want to thank y'all for coming through. Yes. Morgan's on the line. One last caller from Phoenix. Go ahead, Morgan. What you want to say?
I would just like to say, Sway, that Snowfall is there's no comparison between Snowfall and Game of Who. It's a bomb.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to this season. I'm a huge fan. I live in Fittings. I'm West Coast all day, LA all day. But of course, Snowfall is an awesome show. And much luck to you guys. I really enjoy watching it.
God bless you.
All right. Thank you for your call. Angela, thank you for coming through.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let us know when it happens.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll shout you out. Mike Muse, you want to say anything to your classmate, man?
Definitely go blue.
Go blue.
Hail to the victors.
That's
so again, so proud of you. Keep doing it. Be great. Keep going. And we're all watching and supporting you.
Thank you.
All right. Eamon Joseph, man.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on your continued success. All the great roles and projects you've been a part of. But I can tell this one means something different to you.
Yeah, this one means a lot to me. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. How can people reach you on your social if they want to hit you?
Eamon Joseph, straight on any platform.
Okay, Angela, your social?
Love Angela Lewis. LUV Angela Lewis.
Oh, I Like that. Damson Idris, man. Good to see you again, bro.
Bless you, man.
Man, you killing it, man.
I
didn't know, man. I was like, the dude is from where? He's going to play what? Ooh, what the hell? John, what are we doing here, man? No. But you came in, you hit it out the park. So congratulations. Continued success. All right, absolutely. Snowfall, ladies and gentlemen. Season 3 premieres Wednesday, July 10th, 10 p.m. on FX. We'll come back with Celebrity Wire.